Hey everybody and welcome back. This video is titled Neighbors Ruin Girl's Birthday, Dad Gets Even. This one sounds interesting. Scott and Nina Hunter had spent 2 weeks planning their daughter's 8th birthday. They ordered a delicious birthday cake, invited all of her friends, and even set up a bouncy house for little Evie to play in. But sadly, their daughter would remember her birthday for all the wrong reasons. Scott and Nina lived next door to an elderly couple who complained about everything. Every time they had a family barbecue, the neighbors would ring the doorbell and demand that they shut the party down immediately. They were even bothered by the noise their daughter made while playing in the backyard during the day. But what they did on her birthday was beyond unacceptable. Fast forward to the day of Evie's birthday party, and everyone was enjoying the barbecue. "Hey, Scott," the neighbor shouted. "We are trying to enjoy our porch, so tell your sprogs to shut up." Scott calmly explained to the grumpy man, "They are children, Bernard. It's a party." Bernard sighed and went into his house. Before we continue, if you like this video, please like, comment, or subscribe. We'd greatly appreciate it. Now back to the video. "Thank God he left," Scott thought to himself as he played with his daughter and her friends. But little did he know, this was only the beginning. An hour later, one of the kids accidentally threw the bouncy ball over the fence, and it landed in the grumpy neighbor's yard. Bernard's wife picked up the ball and handed it to her husband. Little Evie stared as Bernard grabbed a screwdriver from his shed and drove it through the ball. "What are you doing?" Scott shouted. But it was too late. Bernard then flattened the ball and gave it back to Evie. "Here you go," he said, laughing. Scott had never been so angry in his life. They had ruined his daughter's party, and he wasn't going to let them get away with it. His plan was simple, and he knew it would work. Every time Scott saw his miserable neighbors sitting on their porch, he would turn on his air compressor and make a racket with his gas leaf blower. They hated the sound of it, and it made Scott happy. Every day, he would wait for them to come out before firing up his air compressor. Scott did it every single day, hoping the evil couple would eventually move out. He wanted them to know that what they did on Evie's birthday was unacceptable, and now they had to live with the consequences. So how did Bernard and his wife react to Scott's revenge plan? Scott continued bothering his neighbors with the loud noise for several years. From that day on, he never let them enjoy their backyard ever again, Evie explained in her Reddit post. This happened when she was 8 years old, but she still remembers it like it was yesterday. "We could see their yard from our house, and anytime they would go outside, he would go out back and crank up his air compressor in the garage and slam a basketball against the backboard as hard as he could until they went inside. He didn't even pretend he was doing anything but making as much noise as possible," Evie wrote. Scott never stopped bothering his neighbors until Bernard eventually died 2 years later. The family hoped they would eventually apologize for their behavior, but they never did. "We take revenge pretty seriously in our family," Evie explained. But what did other people think of her father's revenge plan? Most people found Evie's story hilarious. "Dad still goes cemetery and bangs a basketball against dude's headstone for old time's sake," one user wrote. Some people, however, were surprised by Scott's determination to make their neighbor's life a living hell. "Never gave up until the old man died? This was nuclear revenge," one person commented. What would you do if you were in Scott's shoes? That's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. As always, if you like this video, please like, comment, or subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video.